Well, it's radiator hose time. Now what I've done, thrown the front radiator support on, and I've managed to use the original bottom one like that. I had to cut off a small section. It actually fit. Now inside this hose there is a wire spring so it can't collapse. It does clear those things down there. Looking at it, it looks like it's going to be pretty good actually. It's in a very similar position. It hasn't really kinked at all because of the spring inside, which stops it, but that's the bottom one. The top hose, not having much luck using the original just because the angles don't match without kinking the hose, so I may have to get a piece of wire and bend it to the shape and go down and find myself a hose to match for the top. So front radiator support on. Seems to be a lot more clearance as well, enough to put the thermo fan inside there. Power steering hose. I would call this one a win simply because I'm actually using the original power steering hose, as you can see, and the connection matches in the back perfectly. There's a little bit of manipulating with the hose, there's a bit of tension on it, but apart from that, once it's in, you can see your power steering hose is all in perfect. So I don't think you're going to need to buy yourself a new power steering hose, so just keep that in mind. Once you position it and give it a bit of a twisting around, you'll find it'll fit straight into where you want it to go. Another saving. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. The original transmission coolant lines are hooked up. They run down the back. Because of the position, I don't know if I explained it earlier, but these mounts are normally sitting about in the middle of that cross member. With the adapter kit, they sit slightly off to the side. I'll show you on the other side because it's a bit cleaner, and you should be able to see in there. It's off to the side like that. Normally they sit in the middle. You can see a hole down there on the right. That's where the brackets normally sit. There are multiple holes in the cross member, and these brackets are designed to fit in the holes closest to the front. There'll be 1, 2, 3 holes. They'll match up, and as you can see, the transmission lines, coolant lines, are hooked up. They do run underneath and everything else. They go in a funny position, but the good thing is this material is really bendable. You just got to not kink it, run it round underneath and get it nice and clean. So you won't need transmission coolant lines either. Alrighty, it's hose time, and as you can see, I've got hooked up. The heater hoses are all connected. The radiator hose, I'm not 100% happy with that bottom one there. I don't know if it's going to be suitable. It doesn't look kinked or anything, but it is in there. Top radiator hose, used the original, had to do a few cuts on it, and I added over here, as you can see, that is going to be the temperature sender. That hooked up. That looks pretty good. There's no real major kinks or anything else on it. And obviously the power steering, had to buy another hose just to connect from there to there. Everything else is done. So our hoses are pretty well in place. So she's starting to take shape and form now. Alrighty.